Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's ETAPRIME back here again. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the all-new OnePlus Pad 3, and it's been a little while since we've taken a look at any OnePlus devices on the channel, but as soon as I heard about this thing, I knew I had to get my hands on it. And I'll tell you right now, this is definitely going to give Samsung a run for its money when it comes to their Galaxy Tab line, because this thing is an absolute machine. We've got a 13.2-inch, 3.5K display, 8 speakers. So we've actually got 4 speakers and 4 woofers, a 12,140 milliamp hour battery, and inside of the box, along with the OnePlus Pad 3, you're going to get your USB Type-C cable and an 80-watt charger. So we can quick charge it up to 80 watts here. At the time of making this video, they only have one color variant. It's Storm Blue. And of course, since we've got a tablet with this form factor, we've got some accessories that we also need to take a look at. First up, we've got the OnePlus Stylo 2, and this thing is really awesome. Pressure sensitive, tilt sensitive, and built-in wireless charging directly from the side of the tablet. They're also going to be offering a folio case, so this will protect the back and the screen once it's all folded up. But my favorite accessory here is their keyboard case. This thing is great. Built-in trackpad, and again, just like the folio case, once it's all folded up, it will protect the front screen and the rear of the unit. Also acts as a kickstand. It magnetically attaches to the rear. We've got a little cutout for the pogo pins on the rear of the OnePlus Pad 3, but the keyboard itself also connects wirelessly. And at first, I thought it was strictly just a wired connection, over those pogo pins. But once I pulled it off, I noticed that I could still use the keyboard. This is something I really do like seeing. Unfortunately, there's no USB Type-C on the keyboard itself to charge it separately from the tablet. But I will say, I've tested a lot of keyboard cases for a lot of different Android tablets here on the channel. This is the best trackpad that I've seen in a tablet so far. It works absolutely amazingly. Multi-gesture support, and the keys on this keyboard itself do feel really nice. I mean, it feels like a modern laptop. So obviously, we've got a really nice 13.2-inch Android tablet here, but it really wouldn't be anything without a powerful CPU. And luckily, OnePlus added the Snapdragon 8 Elite to this thing. So we've got a clock up to 4.32 gigahertz, an Adreno 830 GPU up to 1.1 gigahertz. And when it comes down to it, this is the fastest chipset that we've seen in Android handsets. Bringing it over to a tablet like this just made sense. 12 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of UFS 4.0 storage, a 144 Hz 13.3-inch LTPS display with a resolution of 3392 by 2400, so 3.5K, normally 600 nits of brightness, HBM 900 nits, Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.4, an 8-speaker system here, 12,140 milliamp hour battery with 80-watt quick charging capabilities, full aluminum unibody design, and this is running Oxygen OS 15, which is based on Android 15. Okay, so first thing I wanted to do was take a look at this stylus. This is the Stylo 2 from OnePlus. It magnetically attaches right up here at the top and charges up the pen. As you can see, we get a little bit of a notification. Now, I do find it easier to kind of jot notes down on a tablet with a pen. I'm not an artist, but one of the best things about this little system here is it is pressure sensitive. It's also tilt sensitive, and I don't know if it's the pen or the tablet giving the feedback here. Now, I know it is putting out some sound from the speakers when we're drawing. It really does feel like you're drawing on paper. With a screen this size on a tablet, one of the main things I like to do is watch movies. Luckily, it is Widevine Level 1 certified, so you can do HD Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, whatever you want to do. You can get that HD content on here. And just to kind of give you an idea, 4K 60 HDR playback from YouTube. This Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset has more than enough power for 4K video playback. I mean, it'll go through this without dropping a single frame. And one of the most impressive things here is the sound system. I mean, this thing gets loud, and it's not just like a tinny loud, it is a super clear loud. I've spent about a week with this tablet and it's super snappy. We do have full access to Google Play, so there's no workarounds you need to do there. You're just going to be able to download your favorite games and applications. And speaking of games, the Snapdragon 8 Elite is going to handle anything maxed out from the Google Play Store. We will take a look at some gaming and emulation in just a second. But the first thing I wanted to do was give you a look at some benchmarks that I ran on this. Geekbench 6 CPU performance, single core 3023, multi 8970. If you're an Android user, go ahead and run this benchmark on your phone. It's free from Google Play, and then you'll kind of get an idea of how much power this thing's putting out. And the other one I ran here was Antutu, 2,709,783. And just to kind of give you an idea, I also ran this on the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which was the last gen flagship chip from Snapdragon. A little under 2 million, and I have seen the 8 Gen 3 hit 2 million with adequate cooling. But yeah, with this, we're close to that 3 million scored here in Antutu. Now it's time to take a look at some native Android gaming, and then we're going to move over to some emulation. This is the Android version of Fortnite. I'm using an Xbox controller connected over Bluetooth. Super smooth here, and this game can only do up to 90 FPS. I mean, that's kind of maxed out in the settings. And just to show you, we'll go in there. We are completely maxed out. Epic settings, 100% resolution scale, and we've even got the HD textures on. I've also got the frame counter up in the top left-hand corner. It is running at 90 FPS, but it's cut off a little bit. And I'd say the big downside to what I've been seeing on this tablet so far is no gaming-centric features. At least I haven't been able to find any. And I know that some of the OnePlus devices have what they call game space. I think that's what they still call it. You pull over from the left or the right hand side while you're playing a game, and you've got some gaming features there, like an on-screen crosshair, do not disturb, even an on-screen FPS counter. I'd say I do believe they need to add kind of a game mode to this, and if it's here, I just couldn't find it. I've looked everywhere for it. Another game that gives lower end chipsets a run for its money is Genshin Impact. And right now we're at 60 FPS maximum settings, so we do need a 120 hertz mode with this game. iOS has had it for a while, but we finally got native Android controller support here, so you can use your Xbox controller. Or if you want to use a PS4, PS5 controller, it shouldn't be an issue. You'll be able to connect it directly over Bluetooth or even a wired connection. And this tablet does support video over USB Type-C, but there's no real desktop mode. It's basically just mirroring the screen over USB Type-C. And again, the Snapdragon 8 Elite has more than enough power to play any native Android game from Google Play at full speed maxed out. Now it's time to check out some emulation, and it's been a bit hard on YouTube to really show off a bunch of games. So I've got a list. I've gone through and I've tested some stuff. This is the Dolphin Emulator. We've got the GameCube version of Simpsons Hit and Run. We're at 4x resolution, so we're running this at a resolution of 2560 by 2112, 60 FPS all day, OpenGL back in. I also went through and tested some other games, so mostly everything is going to be able to run at a 4x resolution on this. The only game I had to drop down to 3x was Rogue Squadron 2, and that's kind of been a problematic game for Android, but at least, we can still upscale over that native GameCube resolution. PS2 is another one that performs amazingly on the Snapdragon 8 Elite. I'm using the Nether SX2 emulator, 4x resolution, and since these were weird aspect ratios, it's not quite 2560 by 2112. It's like 2560 by 1792 for some games, maybe 1892 for some games. But upscaling to that 4x resolution on this display really does make a difference, and it looks great. With the newest version of Nether SX2, went through with these 4 games at 4x, and I believe that some of these we could probably go up to 5x, and it would kind of work out on this screen because we've got a 3.5K display, but for me at least, going up to 4x is more than enough. So far, I've been having a great time with the OnePlus Pad 3. Couple things I'd love to see here, like a dedicated gaming mode or a game space. That way we've got a couple gaming-centric features built in, because I know it's not specifically designed for gaming or made for gamers, but there's people out there that are going to want to pick something like this up and game on it during their downtime, so having those features would be awesome. And another thing that I'd love to see here is kind of a desktop mode on the built-in screen, and I mean the UI here is good enough to use a mouse and keyboard with, but it would be awesome to have just a dedicated taskbar at the bottom, and since it supports video over USB Type-C, it'd be nice to be able to, use the tablet like it is in this form, with an external display connected and a desktop mode over there, sort of like Samsung DeX. I'd love to see those two features added here. But overall, I think OnePlus did a bang up job with the new OnePlus Pad 3. If you're interested in learning a little more, I will leave some links in the description. And if there's anything else you want to see running on this thing, just let me know in the comments below. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. And like always, thanks for watching.